Guys, my name is Jonathan, and with me today is Michael.
How you guys doing?
Today, we start this podcast about how to survive a zombie apocalypse. It's a survival guide, basically, about tips on what zombies are, things about zombies that make them scary, what weapons to use in certain situations, a community's role in a zombie apocalypse, how to get gas in cars and stuff like that, anything like that. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is what is a zombie in the most basic terms. So, what is a zombie technically?
Basically, someone who's all dead and their flesh has been decomposed.
Yeah, which basically means that there must have been a virus happening or an outbreak of rate. A zombie doesn't have to be back from the dead. It could be like, if you've watched the film World War Z, it's basically rabies that happened that's uncontrollable. It could be a fungus type of infection.
Could be a drug.
Could be a drug. There's some drugs that act like as if you're zombies, like
So
flocka,
far there was,
bath salts.
Yeah.
Bath salts, which in 2011 or 12?
No, it was like 5 years ago.
So that's what?
2014.
2014 in Miami, there was a guy who was on bath salts and chewed off another guy's face in on a highway road. So basically that gave like signs that there could be zombies. And basically what a zombie is, by original term, is they're dead and something brings them back alive. And they eat human flesh and stuff like that. And the only thing working is their cerebellum. So basically, if a zombie apocalypse were to happen, you'd have to wait for instructions by the government. I mean, you've seen it all in shows and movies, that if the people that do listen to government officials, they end up getting killed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're usually the first ones to die.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say, wait until you know it's true. Wait it out for a day, and if it's spreading really quickly, on what we do is what we would do is we would grab as much supplies as we can.
Weapons.
We would try getting as much weapons as we can, but also remember you got to be light on your feet. So you can't have anything heavy on you, because if you have anything heavy on you, be careful. Now, I would say don't bother using a car, as the highways would be jacked with other cars and full with other cars. But if you do, make sure that you have a lot of gas. And if you go to a gas station or whatever, it's going to be packed. So don't bother doing that. You should just, because the world is going down, in a typical zombie apocalypse, it's the end of the world. But in reality, what would happen is, give it 2 to 3 months and they're all going to rot until they're bones. And then afterwards, military is going to come and save us from how much of the military people there are. But in a world like, let's say, The Walking Dead, or Night of the Living Dead, or Shaun of the Dead, or Z Nation, there's no way of getting through those stuff. So basically, you gotta siphon out gas, which is you grab a tube, you put it in a car that nobody's using, and you suck out the gas until it comes out. Make sure you don't swallow the gas there, of course, because that's dangerous. That shit wouldn't be fun, you know. And then what you would do is you basically put in a container so you can use it afterwards. Because if you're stuck with gas, I mean,
Yeah.
you're kind of screwed there, you know? So, how would you kill a zombie?
From what you would see in video games or TV shows or movies, basically just a single shot to the head. Or any type of shot that involves the head. So decapitation might work.
Well,
it might slow the body down. It might stop the body, but the head it's not really gonna move. So it could stay alive, but it's not gonna get you.
yeah, true.
Or you could take the easy way out and just stab it or shoot it in the head.
I mean, if you shoot in the head, you gotta also think zombies are attracted by weapons,
Which is why if it's a single zombie, stick to luring it with your blood, and as soon as it's close enough, you stab it in the head.
Make sure that you don't die from loss of blood.
Yeah, make sure you have a right to to cover up your wound.
The only time you should be using a gun is if you're gonna be cornered by zombies or it's a huge populated area that you know that it's gonna be hard to get out of. Always travel with a group of 3 people max and keep everybody else in your community. You should find a community also. A community and finding people I know it's hard to trust is the best thing to do in a zombie apocalypse, because if you're alone, yeah, it's easier for you. You're really light on your
Plus,
feet.
it's really rare to find the community.
Unless you make your own, which would be hard.
Yeah.
Always look for, at the beginning, quarantined areas that the government set up. I know that it's hard and that most people would die, but at least you're going to have food and shelter and whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah, but what if all that runs out?
Well, then you move on to the next place.
Or go scavenge for more supplies.
Exactly. Like, if you're going to get weapons, on the first couple days it'll be hectic. Like, there's going to be guns, shots, there's going to be explosions. So it's normal that everybody's going to be scared and crying and stuff like that. But you got to know to maintain calm. Go to a pharmacy. Be careful, because since it's the end of the world, people are going to kill other people.
Yeah, just to get painkillers or
yeah, which is really important in the zombie apocalypse there.
pretty much.
That I would suggest going to a weapon store first, as you can find medication and plants and stuff like that if you know what
Or
plants
just
to use.
take household weapons like kitchen knives or
Yeah.
or a screwdriver or a hammer, an axe.
Well, a screwdriver wouldn't work. It's too small to reach the brain if you think about it.
What about those long ones over there?
Oh, the long ones, then yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah, so
But what else? Weapon choices. I would.
let's go by category.
Okay, so melee, bat,
knife,
axe,
hammer, bow and arrow,
nail gun,
crossbow, nail gun.
screwdriver.
I
No,
already said that.
screwdriver as in the powered ones.
Oh yeah, that
We're
one.
like, yeah, those would work, but you also gotta be careful. I don't think a pencil would work, as a pencil could snap easily. Kitchen knives are good. Butter knives don't work, so don't bother with a butter knife. Forks would work, technically. I mean, not
But they could
100%.
bend too. They could bend too.
Yeah, but you sock them in the eye, you're good.
Yeah.
What else? There's, if you have a gym set, you could bring like 5-pound weights, not even, and just hit them on the head repeatedly. Crowbars, wood planks, chairs, anything like that. Now for firearms, depending, there's a lot, but I would suggest having a regular sniper rifle that would have a silencer, and a regular pistol that has a silencer. I mean, mainly for pistol, Glock 18, as those are the most reliable firearms, as if they jam the bullets, there's a click mechanism on the gun, on the pistol, that unjams the bullet for you, so you should be fine. It takes out the bullet for you, and you can re-put it in whenever you need to. Never use a Smith & Wesson, as yeah, it's a powerful weapon, a revolver, I understand, but at the same time it would take long to reload, and not only that, but you need special type of ammunitions for that. You need a .308 ammunition, and that isn't easy to get.
So basically you're saying revolvers are off the chart.
Off the chart, yeah. Unless you're like a deputy sheriff, that like Rick Grimes, you know. That shotguns are good for close range. I mean, I would only keep a shotgun though if I have a building and what happens that zombies are breaking in.
Yeah.
That should only be used for close range, as shotguns can't get far. Main weapon you should use, bow and arrow. Those are stealthy, and those are...
But you gotta know how to use it, really.
Yeah, if you know how to use a bow and arrow, then you're good, because bow and arrows, they're not only stealthy, but they could do a lot of damage depending on where you hit them and what type of bow it is.
And basically, to use a bow and arrow, it takes patience and discipline.
Yeah. So, and you must remain calm. It's that simple. Like, you need to remain calm. There's no other way of dealing with it.
So if you
don't stress.
So if you fear that there's like a zombie apocalypse that's about to happen, like at any moment, go buy yourself a bow and just set up a cardboard box and just practice.
Yeah, just practice. Like my friend and I, in the summer we practice in our backyard with our pellet guns and our bow and arrows.
We both know that pellet guns aren't really gonna work there.
Actually, I saw a video on YouTube where a guy used a pellet gun, but it was like a 12 gauge version of a pellet gun.
Okay.
And they had a fake mannequin head like Zombie Go Boom, and it exploded the head. Almost.
That's
like
nice.
it started pissing blood and everything. It was like really crazy. Basically, stay away from zombies. Always stay on your feet. Don't stay in a building for more than 2 days. Always travel and try to get to Canada. The reason why I say try to get to Canada, I know it's shitty weather here, but in the cold during winter, if you go up north in Canada, because the zombies don't have blood in them, they only have the blood that's still there from whatever the cause may be, from eating a human being or whatever. They freeze to death. They'll freeze into ice. Same thing for water. If you're on an island, you should get on an island that has food and whatever, like fruits that grow from the ground, because if they go into water, they sink all the way to the bottom. Forget about it. Like, you're safe. Unless, like, they end up coming on your island. Then you gotta be careful for that, you know?
Yeah, but they could still walk, no? They could still walk.
Yeah, but think of how long it would take with the pressure underwater. It would explode their head, technically. Technically, it would.
Yeah,
I mean, think about it. The ocean, we haven't explored more than 3% of the ocean, so...
3%?
3%. More than 3% we haven't yet.
Jeez, okay.
And when the Titanic sank, it was... The depth of it was higher than Mount Everest. On top of the Statue of Liberty and the Eiffel Tower. So imagine how deep that must be. So yeah. And always make sure to, if you have a loved one, be careful, because love will mess up in a relationship, because you have to focus on them and make sure they're safe. I mean, I would make sure that I don't have a loved one, and I would be only with a friend of mine, like the one doing my podcast as he's my best friend, or it'd be somebody that has skilled stuff. Also learn how to craft weapons, like learn how to craft a firework or a flare gun or regular flares in case. And always have a walkie-talkie, because walkie-talkies are important.
Yeah, but then let's say those walkie-talkies die, how are you gonna replenish the...
Well, that's why if you're able to make them, because it's all about survival. Humans are smarter when it comes to, like, live or die.
Yeah.
Solar-powered radios.
That could work, yeah.
That would be an amazing thing to have. Anything solar power is good. So, basically, to put this as a wrap, as we have 2 minutes left, stay light on your feet. Use silent weapons unless it's 1 or like 3 zombies, then you use a melee weapon. Never stay in one place for more than 2 or 3 days. Stock up on food and medication. What else?
Sure.
Try building up a community. Don't listen to the government.
Don't have a love life.
Don't have a love life.
Up your chances of survival.
Yeah, and basically it. And know the different types of zombies. We don't know if it'll be like zombies like the slow walking stuff. They could be, if it's rabies, there could be runners. There could be the types that shot to the head won't work and only decapitation. There could be zombies like from Left 4 Dead, for all we know, where there's bloaters, where it's the big ones that explode when you shoot them.
Dying Light, those acid...
yeah, there could be acid reflux zombies, where they spit acid reflux at you.
Or those freaking giant... I don't know what the hell those are called.
Yeah, so basically to wrap it up, be careful, know your surroundings, know where you have to go, and always make a backup plan in case you try meeting up with friends. Have a backup plan on 3 locations to go to. It's that simple. Alright guys, so this is Jonathan and
Michael.
And survive the zombie apocalypse if you can. Thank you.